Jones kicks to Bryant to shoot. Ross.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of
shooting for the Jayhawks.
He gets the first, McNair. Both free throws good for Nelson. And they go to the intentional foul. There's 21 seconds left here in the second half, and now we've got the intentional foul. And no good this time on the 1-and-1.
Well, it's urgent to get baskets here in a short period of time.
And an intentional foul right there.
Honestly, just doing what they have to in order to get the basketball back.
That's a good foul, though. I like that. I mean, clock management crucial at this time of the game.
And so the first one is good. He'll stay at the line for one more try. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 5-point game.
No mistakes there. I think you can close the book on this one, guys. It's done.
And so here's Kansas.
Dropping bombs. How many more threes are we going to see from him tonight?
Outside the arc, then inside.
Six seconds left here in the second half. And they go to the intentional foul. So the first one drops, and that makes it a 3-point lead. And a tough break as his second attempt at the line. No good.
A three-pointer would be huge right now.
Boy, a chance to tie it up with the game on the line. This is what we live for. I want to see what happens right here.
So it's Villanova picking up the win. They break the hearts of every fan in the building. Hi, everyone, and welcome to this broadcast of college basketball on 2K Sports. The action doesn't get much better than two of the most dynamic teams in college basketball going at it on the hardwood. Along with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan. We've got the Kansas Jayhawks and Texas.
And the thing you love about collegiate sports, the passion, the energy, I mean, the competitiveness and that hunger and drive to succeed and show what you have, it's really always a marvel to watch.
No doubt about it, Greg. And seeing these players out here tonight, I remember how the love for the game of basketball in those formative years when I was playing college was so invaluable. I mean, the experience you gain with excellent coaching and mentorship at this level, really a huge part of where you go with your talent.
So let's take a look at the starters for the Kansas Jayhawks. Nelson in at 2 guard, and it's Terry in at the 4 spot. Here is Edwards. Shot clock at 6. Texas needs to get off a shot. Lands soft on the front of the rim and drops. The Texas Longhorns have been building their basketball program over the years. They have been on the verge of greatness for a long time.
I think Texas in general is very decorated in its athletics program. I mean, still looking for their first college basketball championship on the men's side is what they're reaching for.
And the foul called on Freak. That's his first foul.
Yeah, nothing wrong with fighting for the rebound, but he gets nailed with the over-the-back call.
And, Greg, you know I was an offensive rebounder in my day. And I like that kind of aggressive play. But he's got to do a little better job of trying to get position earlier in that case.
That's a good point. Positioning is so vital when you're trying to rebound the basketball, and that's something that wasn't on display on that possession.
And so here's Texas. Kelly Oubre unable to get his last shot to go. Outside Turner to the left wing. From the baseline. Edwards can't hit.
And you see Freak out there. Nobody is 100% sure what position he'll be best at on the next level, but they know he'll be out on the wing. He looks so comfortable in space.
And with Freak, it's his plethora of moves that really impress me. He can create a shot in space anywhere and anytime. He's got a really good sense of how to operate from the wing.
It really does make the game easy for your teammates when you can lead them to the rim that well with a pass.
Here is Williams. Dishes it to Calderon. There's the screen. Nelson outside. Williams kicks to Dedmon. Good ball movement here by the Jayhawks. And plenty of contact on the shot. So
where we are.
The Jayhawks shooting their first free throws of the night. Both free throws good for Nelson.
And that's another area where he is just a superb player. Excellent at the free throw line.
Pass to Hudson. The dish to Rush. Richmond against Nelson. They set the pick. It's Rush outside. Nelson with the rebound.
And Kansas always seems to be in title contention. I mean, the program does a great job of finding tough players and having a system that fits them best. Rarely are they not a title contender.
On the court for the Longhorns, we've got Richmond. Turner is out there with Hudson, and it's Rush in at the 3 spot. And so it's Texas with it, following the three-point attempt by Freak. On the wing, Richmond, guarded by Nelson. Here's Hudson. Now the pass to Richmond. Rush from outside. Hudson kicks to Rush. There's the feed to Richmond. Pass to Rush.
2 minutes remaining.
To the wing on the left. Blair dishes to Hudson. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game. And the Jayhawks do a great job in recruiting talent. All sorts of players have come through Kansas and found success.
Yeah, and you know they develop not only the stars like Paul Pierce and Andrew Wiggins, but role players too, guys that have made a living in the NBA as fitting into roles. Mario Chalmers and Nick Collison come to mind.
Bounces high off the rim and drops. Hudson's got his second bucket of the night. A platoon swap here for Texas. Some changes for Kansas. Hello and welcome back. This is college basketball on 2K Sports. And if you're just tuning in, this is Kevin Harlan along with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg as we get set for the second half.
Guys, you know, it's been a close one thus far. Both teams have had strong stretches, but neither team has really been able to take control of the game to this point.
And guys, this is kind of like a boxing match, a bit of a feeling out period thus far. The second half, we should see more things open up, and that should benefit star players like Freak, who will get more quality opportunity.
And so in the game for the Jayhawks, Nelson in at shooting guard, and it's Gaines in at the 5 spot. Doubled by Nelson, back to Doherty, outside Turner. Passes it to Edwards. Terry grabs the board. Terry's got his 3rd rebound on the night.
Well, in Texas, the Longhorns are known for their football history, actually all over the country. They have an impressive basketball alumnus list, too, though. A lot of pros have come out of Texas.
Edwards passes to Ellis. Turner with a screen on Nelson. Ellis kicks to Turner. Pass to Edwards. Back to Turner. Feeds to Doherty. Ellis dishes to Turner. Turner with a screen on Lee. Here's Edwards. Stolen by Terry. Lee with the ball. Nelson outside for the lead. The rebound by Turner.
Hard to figure out how he doesn't knock that one down. No defender in sight.
The 3. And he gets it to go. Doherty's got 5 points so far.
The D just sagged off just enough and no hesitation on his part.
The drive by Lee.
Move the ball.
He dishes it to Oubre. Inside. Here's Nelson. And it's off the back rim. No good.
He operates well in traffic, but still, that's just a tough play to finish.
Ellis with it. He's picked up by Lee. The 3. And Ellis the bucket on the assist by Doherty. Now it's a 6-point Longhorn lead. Now 8 seconds separating the 2 clocks. They really want to find that igniter here.
Yeah, that's right. Kevin, the offense has basically been running in place.
They got to get going. Now here's Oubre. Nelson banked in off the glass. Nelson's got 6.
Boy, the D has to show a little more fight on the interior than they did on that trip. They've got a battle inside.
This game has been a battle, and maybe they're starting to...
We got to be more physical on defense. They are getting to the middle of the floor way too easy. Get into them on the perimeter. Posts. Rotate over and make your presence felt. Quit being so soft.
A platoon swap here for Kansas. Kansas trails by 10. We've got Hudson. Edwards is out there with Ellis. Then there's Doherty, and it's Warwick in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Stolen away. Oh, and a fast break now for the Longhorns. Edwards, that's good. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for the Longhorns.
The activity level defensively, I've really been impressed with. They've been in attack mode on the defensive end.
Something that's also benefited them tonight are the turnovers they've forced and the points that have come along with those forced turnovers.
1:58 left to play here in the second half. Longhorns leading by 10. He feeds it to Hudson. And he uses the glass on the layup.
An even stronger second half. Tremendous efficiency at the offensive end of the floor.
Yeah, they're in a nice zone right now, and that basket looks, you know, it can handle 2 balls at once. It looks like now it could probably, for them, handle 3 or 4 balls at once as well as they're shooting.
Here's Nelson following the bucket by Texas. Lee passes to Nelson. It's tipped. Kicks it to Warwick. The pass to Boss. Good ball movement here by the Jayhawks. Here's Oubre, and he drops in the layup off the glass.
Bad time for these defenders to be standing around watching. Not while the ball's in his hands.
1:03 left to play here in the second half.
And at this point, just sort of running through the paces as it appears it'll be a nice win here for the Longhorns.
Good point, Steve. And Clark, they had to battle for this win. There were times when it looked like it was maybe slipping away a bit, but they never let that happen, which I thought was a real credit to them.
I like their fortitude, their toughness, particularly in terms of dealing with adversity. Anytime things didn't go their way, they just put their nose down and stayed with it. And because of that, they were able to pull away.
Here's Ellis after the made shot from Kelly Oubre. Pass to Edwards. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot two.
That's his first personal foul. Shooting for the Longhorns.
He drops the first one, and that will put them up by 9.
You're always going to have people who don't believe that you're really good at what Thanks for joining us, and hello, college basketball fans. We've got a great night ahead and a couple outstanding teams going at it. We're going to have the pleasure to watch. I'm Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. We'll see the Louisville Cardinals taking on the Kansas Jayhawks. There is no feeling like a packed house on a college campus. You can just feel the electricity in the air as two major colleges go head-to-head on the hardwood.
And even though this game isn't a must-have game, it feels like a tournament game, a one-and-done type situation. Both of these programs know that a win here could be huge for them as they get ready to make a run in March.
Here are the starters for Louisville. Rozier's out there with Sanders. Then it's White. Then there's Harrell. And it's Mack in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. And he's good on the second.
And guys, over the years, Louisville has had a reputation of being a high-flying offense. You know they'll play at a high tempo and create a lot of chances. It's just what has worked for the program for so long.
Nelson dishes to Lee. There's the pick. Pass to Oubre. Good ball movement here by the Jayhawks. Gaines kicks to Nelson. Bounces high off the rim and drops. Greg, you said a moments ago, Louisville, a team that can get up and down the floor with great ease on both ends. They like to be Clark the aggressor in every situation.
Well, Kevin, you're right. They've always been able to recruit tremendous talent. Not only skilled, but athletic players, too. And it's hard to think of a Louisville team that doesn't get up and down quickly.
And he just big-boyed it right there. The height advantage he's got down low, really difficult for them to defend.
Lee kicks to Nelson. Lets it go from 14. Bank shot, no good.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
Right side, White. Pass to Harrell. Poke loose. Here's Lee. No good. And it's Louisville the other way. The feed to Sanders. Harrell the pass to Sanders. And he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed. Sanders has got his first points of the night.
Defensively, that possession better not start a trend because they just handed him 2 points.
Now here's Oubre. He's tightly guarded. And the whistle blows as the basket counts. And a 3-point play chance right here. One free throw coming up.
Yeah, heard the whistle and then kept his focus and able to still knock it down.
And, Greg, to be able to take the bump like that and maintain control, that's not easy to do. I know you're kind of a little fella, but I was a big guy when I played, so I know how difficult that is. That was impressive.
I see.
And it's a completely new group for the Cardinals. The dish to Payton. On the wing, Hughes. Outside, Russell. Feeds to Payton. On the wing, Hughes. Kicks to Payton. Clock at 6. And here's Price for 3. Williams with the defensive effort.
You know, so often we can forget that these players are student athletes. I mean, Freak does not have that problem. He's an amazing student off the floor and is very dedicated in the classroom.
And how about Freak with a 4.0 GPA, an honor student in high school, and has carried that same work ethic to college as well as he prepares for his games. He truly embodies what it means to be a student athlete.
And he gets it to go.
Great job to hit his teammate on that move, Kevin.
And so here's Kansas. Trailing by 2. Nelson, he's in at shooting guard. Also Williams out there. And it's Frazier in at the 5 down low. Williams kick. Here is Price. And for Louisville, the forward position. Hello and welcome back. This is college basketball on 2K Sports. And if you're just tuning in, this is Kevin Harlan along with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg as we get set for the second half.
And guys, I think we may see some strategies being adjusted here as we get into the second half. Still plenty of time to cut into this lead.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, Freak has done a good job of getting his team in this position, and they got themselves a bit of breathing room in the first half, and all they have to do the rest of the way is manage the lead.
Nelson in at shooting guard, and it's Terry in at the 4. And for Louisville, Harrell is out there with White. Then there's Sanders, and it's Rozier in at the point guard. Shot by Terry, no good.
I'll tell you what, for what's really an elementary shot, he looked a little nervous on that release.
Boom, he jams it straight down.
Nothing fancy there. Didn't need it.
Nope. His only concern right now, Clark, is getting the points on the board, and I don't mean style points.
I like the simplicity.
Well, there's also style just with the fact that he's able to have that kind of a finish, though. Still, I like that pretty one-handed flush.
The Jayhawks shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game. Both free throws good for Nelson. Louisville trails by 12. And the pass to Sanders. Here's Rozier, guarded by Nelson, and the basket by Rozier.
Getting the half off to a good start here already with some penetration.
And so here's Kansas. And Nelson gets it to go. Nelson's got the lead up to 12 now for the Jayhawks.
Nice move and finish. I think the halftime break really gave him a second win.
Here's Rozier. Passes it to Mack. Outside, White. Rozier, the pass to Harrell. Some nice passing by Louisville here. Pass to Rozier for the 3. Rebounded by the Jayhawks.
He is just really almost playing for the other team. The shooting has just been poor.
Nelson with it. Now defended by Sanders. There's a screen. Now here's Oubre. White covering. Oubre dishes to Nelson. It's in, and he's a very efficient 5 for 6 on the game.
One thing with Freak that we know is he makes sure he gets his shots up no matter what. One way or another, he's going to get his workout in, and that's why so many are confident that he'll continue to improve.
Part of it is that he has a twin sister who actually taught him how to play ball. She helped him develop his game and become the player he is today. Pretty nice to have a sibling willing to help you develop your skill set on the court. That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get many looks better from that range.
The Cardinals shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game. And the free throw, no good. And the second free throw, good. Duncan kicks it to Gaines. Over to the wing. Calderon passes to Dedmon. For 3, Nelson. The rebound by Hughes. Louisville trails by 13. Nelson in at point guard. Also Duncan out there. And it's Calderon in at the 3. Odom dishes to Payton. Here's Harrell. That's in, coming off an assist from Price. And so here's Kansas. And Freak throws it down.
That is some real serious dime dropping there. Exquisite assist.
Nelson's gone 75% from the field. 6 baskets and 8 attempts. The Cardinals will go for a different look here. Nelson's checked in for the Jayhawks. And then for Louisville, Thomas comes in for White. And it's Russell in for Sanders.
And with Freak, he takes a lot of pride in where he hails from. Didn't grow up with a silver spoon in his hand by any means. And his family cheers him on from Harlem.
And Greg, you can see it in this game. I mean, we're all a product of where we've been, our environment, our experiences. And with Freak, he doesn't take anything for granted. Some of the very best players of all time have come from the projects like Freak, and he takes pride in playing for Harlem when he's on the court. And a nice soft touch on the board.
And you know, when you have that gentle a touch, those tip-ins are easy to come by.
Yeah, but how about the fight there prior to that ball being available? That's what I like and what you need to really focus on when they have plays like that. And so only one team answered the bell tonight, guys. Not a monster blowout by any means, but still a double-digit victory for the Jayhawks.
When you consider the difference in their field goal percentages, the other team has to be happy that this wasn't a bigger loss. This team was on fire.
Yeah, you know what, Kevin? It's got to be frustrating to shoot so poorly when the other team is on fire.
And what a huge standout performance it was for Nelson. It was the kind of game for him that all scorers dream of, where the basket seemed as wide as a barrel.
36 seconds left in the second half of basketball. Lee kicks to Nelson.
Yeah, that's a tough call right there, and really a tough break for the D.
Greg, no problem for me with that call. I mean, he was still sliding right there.
.24 seconds left here in the second half of the game. Dedmon passes to Nelson. Nice form on the 20-footer. And Kansas leads by 17.
Well, if it wasn't out of reach, it is now, thanks to that last little spurt.
And why put the brakes on now? I just say keep on letting it fly.
Odom kicks to Jones. No good off the pick.
And no excuse there for missing that one after being freed up by a great pick.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, they came away empty, but they got the look they wanted, and really, I like the movement and communication there.
And this is where it's at, folks. The college tournament ends here tonight. For one team, the joy of a lifetime will be achieved. And there's no doubt going to be some incredible action all along the way. This is Kevin Harlan, joined by my colleagues Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. We'll see the Wisconsin Badgers taking on the Kansas Jayhawks.
Kevin, this is the night where we are going to see some intense basketball. High energy, lay it all out on the line for college hoops. Everything these young players have worked towards their entire life comes down to this exact moment.
And you can bet, Clark, that each and every player here tonight feels the importance of this game like no other in their lives, really. A big key in coming through in a big game like this is how well you can compose yourself. How do you handle the pressure of the big stage? We'll find out soon enough which of these teams has the ability to harness all of that raw energy and focus on getting the job done.
Let's check out Wisconsin's starting lineup. We've got Hawkins. He's out there with Hill. Decker is out there with Kaminsky. And it's Evans in at the 4.
And with any championship game, you know that every player is going to have their heart racing for the first few minutes. That's just natural. That's adrenaline. They'll need to remain calm, though, and let the game come to them and kind of ease into it.
And one guy, guys, I'll keep an eye on in this one is Freak. He is the consummate leader for his team. He can come out strong and play his game while keeping his intensity level up. It'll be just what they need to claim the title.
Here's Hill after the made shot from Kelly Oubre. Hill drives in. It's tipped. Now here's Oubre. And the foul called on Freak. That's his first foul. Oubre, good.
You know, Wisconsin has not historically had a lot of players in the NBA. That number, however, could be growing in the next few seasons. I mean, they have a few, but for the most part, their winning has come through solid team play.
Now here's Gibson. There's a good screen. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in. Gibson's got his first bucket of the night. Williams kicks to Calderon. It's Nelson atop the key. Over in the corner, Williams lets it go with the 3. The Badgers pull it in. Wade passes to Hawkins. He dishes it to Hill. The feed now to Decker. It's Hawkins on the wing. And here's Hill for 3. Can't get it to go. And Kansas the other way now. Outside Williams. Dedmon kicks to Calderon. The pass to Dedmon. Good ball movement here by the Jayhawks. Nelson outside. Dedmon dishes to Calderon. Lock at 6. Here's Nelson. Nelson with another miss.
The defense better not make a habit of giving him that shot. I mean, he doesn't miss many of them.
And Wisconsin looking at who they've got. They've got Hill. He's out there with Hawkins. And it's Gibson in at the 4 spot. And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown for the Jayhawks.
Well, I like the fact they've already been getting